A young woman is walking toward a company for a job interview. On the way, a disabled elderly woman sitting on the ground says, "Young lady, can you help me?" The girl replies rudely, "Where did this lame old woman come from? Stay away from me," and walks off, leaving the auntie feeling sad. Soon after, a young man is heading to the same company for an interview. The disabled auntie touches his leg to get his attention, which scares him. She says, "Young man, I can't stand up. Could you please help me?" The boy replies, "Fine," and starts to help her up. But after lifting her slightly, he lets go and says, "No, I can't help you. If I help you, you might vomit on me. I'm in a hurry for my interview." He walks away, leaving the auntie even more heartbroken. Later, a village girl is on her way to the interview. When she sees the disabled auntie, she says kindly, "Auntie, please wait a moment, I'll help you." She gently helps the auntie stand up, straightens the wheelchair, and seats her comfortably. The auntie says, "Thank you, little girl." The village girl replies, "It's okay, auntie. This is what I should do." The auntie then asks, "Young lady, could you please push me to that building?" The girl says, "Of course, auntie, no problem." She pushes the wheelchair carefully and asks, "Auntie, is this the building?" The auntie replies, "Yes, this is it. Thank you, young lady." The girl says, "You're welcome, auntie." Then she adds, "What a coincidence, auntie. I also have my fashion designer interview in this same building." The auntie says, "Really, young lady? Your interview is today? Then you should hurry. Don't delay your work." The girl says, "Auntie, how about I take you home first?" The auntie replies, "There's no need. You go quickly. I'll manage on my own." The girl says, "How about this, auntie? My interview will end soon. After that, I'll take you home. Please wait here for a little while." The auntie says, "All right, thank you." The girl replies, "Okay, auntie. Please wait here. I'll be right back," and then leaves. Inside the company, the boss looks at the time and says, "So much time has passed. Why hasn't one interviewee arrived yet?" The arrogant girl says, "Boss, maybe we shouldn't wait. This person clearly has no sense of time." The boy adds, "Yes, we've already waited more than 10 minutes. Boss, why don't we just start?" The boss says, "All right, we won't wait. I've already announced the official start of the interview." Just then, the village girl enters and says, "Boss, I'm very sorry. I'm late." The boss replies, "Child, this is an interview. Please be mindful of time. Now that everyone is here, let's begin. Please introduce yourselves." The arrogant girl says, "Boss, I have a bachelor's degree and I own a clothing shop in my hometown. Also, boss, I heard the salary here is 100,000 yen per month." The boss says, "All right, next." The boy says, "Boss, I've returned from abroad. I have 10 years of overseas education experience. I studied fashion design and worked for several years at a design institute abroad. I am highly skilled in design." The boss says, "All right, now little girl, it's your turn." The village girl replies, "Boss, I'm only a high school graduate." Hearing this, the other two laugh mockingly. The boss says, "What's so funny? Go on." The girl continues, "Boss, although I've only finished high school, both my parents are tailors. Since childhood, I loved learning how to make clothes from them. My dream has always been to become a fashion designer. After graduating, I've spent 7 to 8 years learning garment production in a clothing factory. I believe I can handle this designer position very well." The boss says, "All right, I really liked your introduction. I believe this village girl should take the designer position in our company." At that moment, the auntie enters the company, clapping her hands and says, "Son, the person you chose is excellent. I am completely satisfied. And for more heart-touching stories, don't forget to like and subscribe."